So, welcome, Stephen South, to Lights and Sirens podcast. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm excited. Excited.
So glad to have you here. As a matter of fact, when I first started thinking about podcasts and wanting to do podcasts and how I wanted this genre to be, my goal was like, you know what? I've got to get. There's several people I want to get, and you were on the top five.
Well, I'm
of who I
flattered.
wanted to get here.
I've been practicing my podcast. One of my buddies, I told him about it, and he called me today, and I was like, "Hello." He's like, "Are you asleep?" I was like, "No, I'm practicing my podcast voice." Wow.
That's right, man. You never
Yeah.
know. Somebody may hear this and be like, "I've got to have him for a voiceover."
I really doubt it, unless they're wanting like a poster child for Wilkes County. Yeehaw! Then they might want me, but
If you could do a voiceover for anything,
oh gosh,
what would you want to do a voiceover?
I don't know. Probably commercials for retirement homes or something like that. Nursing homes.
Welcome
Do you really not care about your loved one? Send them over here. We just need your money.
We were talking about that the other day. How there are buildings all over that you could just say, "I'm going to do a retirement home in them."
Absolutely.
And make so much money.
I took somebody to one at my part-time job the other day that was a brick house. Like a 1950s brick house they had turned into an assisted living.
Really?
That you couldn't get a stretcher anywhere, which was genius. But there again, if you don't love your loved one,
Here's what you
send them
do.
to us. Yeah.
Here's what you do. So, Stephen, you have been in EMS for how long?
12 years.
So, 12 years. Do you remember when you first got started in emergency services?
I do.
Tell me
Yeah.
how that all came about.
Well, so I wanted to be a fireman
Oh,
like everybody else,
sure.
hanging with ladies and saving babies, or however that goes. And I was like super duper fruitcake, hardcore, red lights, gotta go to fire department,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so I quickly realized that doing that and living in Wilkes County was not going to work out.
Yeah.
And my dreams were crushed. No. So I was doing ride time for my EMT, and I was like, hey, this is pretty fun. And Chris Hollers, that I still work with, actually said that they were going to Reed Roper's paramedic class.
Nice.
And he's like, you should come. So I was still in high school because I failed like 3 grades. So I graduated when I was 18. My birthday, my mom helped me back, all that good stuff. But anyway, I never failed a grade, thankfully.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was still in high school when I got my EMT,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, hey, we're going to go take a paramedic class. And so I was like, hey, it seems pretty fun. So I went to
So they caught you with the idea that it seems pretty fun.
Yeah.
And that was during your EMT.
Yes.
So you went
back when you still done clinicals,
Yeah.
required clinicals.
Yeah. So then you went just like I did, and many of us, to Reed Roper's.
That's where the seed
planted.
was planted.
From Reed Roper.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, what year? Do you remember what year was that?
2008.
The 2008.
Like the beginning of 2008. In the November.
Who from around here was with you?
I was with Danny Sweat.
Really?
Yes. Which makes me kind of feel old now. The fact his son's like doing it and got a kid.
Yeah, I know. Well, it
Dalton.
makes you actually legendary status.
I guess.
You were in that round. So what? Danny, the senior Sweat.
Not Charles. Maybe it was Charles. He's on Taylorsville Fire.
Oh yeah.
What's his last name? If we're dropping last names.
Nah, I can't think what his last name is though.
Charlie Marshall.
Charlie Marshall.
He was in there. And then of course Chris Hollers, Daniel Lambert, some guys that I work with.
And so you've been doing EMS from the very beginning.
Yes.
Like as soon as you graduated high school.
Yeah.
So very similar to what Cody was the other day when we were talking to him. So my question is, because I asked him this, you've been doing this for 12 years, all right? What would you tell yourself if you're fresh? Hey, this is fun. came into the building and was like, "Hey, I'm going to go take paramedic school," what's some things you would tell your fresh self?
I don't know. I've never regretted it, as far as like go be a doctor, something like that. I guess be prepared for the monotonous.
The calls.
Yes, be prepared to be an Uber driver.
Yeah. Which, by the way, is a good business if anybody's ever thinking about it.
I think thing about Reed was I think he prepared you.
Yeah.
Like he was a realist as far as the EMS world.
Yeah.
You kind of come into it with a pretty good idea of what you was going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously every day is not like Chicago Fire.
No.
You're not out there.
You ain't wearing like tattoo sleeves.
But probably that, and just something I tell people when they come into it now is EMS is kind of like being in high school.
Yeah.
Whatever impression you make, that's gonna stick with you for long term. And everybody talks about everybody. Did you hear about Joe Blow from 3 counties over?
Yeah.
So just be aware of that, and you're not gonna be saving lives every day.
Yeah.
But
I like how your beard's grown back.
Yeah.
Pretty amazingly.
My wife will probably comment on this. I used her straightener.
Did you?
Yeah, she's got one of these. It's like a comb that gets hot.
Yeah. I got one.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
So I liked it.
First time you ever do it, you're like, this is so weird.
Yeah. I told her I thought my beard was catching on fire.
Sweet, man.
But,
did you put anything in it before you did
it? Some kind of beard cleaner.
Yep.
But,
you got it going on, dude.
She bought one the other day at one of these, like, Amazon box stores.
Uh-huh.
Or where you go, where they've, like, done all the returns, like, the bin stores.
Where did she go? Where's that at?
There's one in, Hickory.
Is there?
Off 70. And there's another one in Hudson. So there's 2.
Is that what those bin stores are?
So the one in Hudson's in the basement where the uniform place is. But she got one and she was like so proud of it. And she's like, I got this like $55 hair straightener comber thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, whatever. And she kept bragging, and I was kind of giving her a hard time. So she pulls this thing out of the box when we get back to my buddy's house, and it looks like you've combed Chewbacca's butt with it. It's like got hair wrapped around it and stuck out. And I was like, good job.
This is from the store?
Yeah, but they're returned. Like some of it's returns, not all of it, and obviously that one was. And so of course I gave her a hard time.
You couldn't help it. No,
but my buddy's wife, she cleaned it up and used it. She's like, "Hey, that thing's like $60. Give it to me." And I'm like, "You can have it."
Now you find good deals, man.
I guess that was.
You're really good at finding deals. Cause you remember I bought the owlet.
Yes.
Thing from you.
And did you? I don't even remember that.
I did.
Well, yeah. Those were lifesavers.
Yeah.
As 100. Nice.
And then you got the beard cleaner that combs somebody's crack.
Yeah, clean Chewbacca.
And so you're married and you have a kid.
Yep.
Little girl.
Yep.
So how does that change you?
Completely, probably. You obviously worry about stuff you never worried about before. And so yeah, I guess pretty much everything.
Yeah.
In a way, as far as adulthood or
and you got
what you think about. Yeah.
The girl always twists the dad around the finger.
Yes, she does. I hope she never figures it out, but she probably will.
She will.
Yeah.
She'll be using that against you all the way.
Yeah.
So you have 2 part-time jobs. You used to have 3.
Yes. Yeah. You can never. I feel like there's so many Americans out there that need keeping up and need my support that I try my best. And
try to help out as much as you possibly can.
The government's pitching in with all the stimulus money, but I try my best.
What do you think about that stimulus?
I think it's probably leading us to bread lines,
we're,
but
we're going to get in trouble.
yeah, one day you're getting money, and the next day you're getting bread.
I don't know where the money's coming from.
I don't know. Maybe Biden's got to deal with China or something.
You think so?
But who knows?
So
let's just hope the bread lines are gluten free.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of people in trouble.
We're going to be going to a lot of calls.
Yeah.
There
was gluten in the bread line.
I can't eat it.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be bad.
I've got abdominal pains. Now, COVID hit March this year. How's it been with you? Have you had it yet?
No. Or if I have, I've not known it.
Good for you.
I was sick in February with like some kind of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we didn't know it was here. Well, we had not. Nobody had staked their claim in it being here yet, but I don't know if that was it or not. But no, I've not had it, thankfully. Or if I have, I've not known.
Have you got the vaccine?
No.
You gonna get it?
Probably not.
Probably not. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. Now, here's the thing about the vaccine. Is that I think it has its good points. Is it the cure-all? No, it's not. It's not going to keep people from getting the virus.
Plus the microchip.
And the microchip.
Yeah, I mean, they're tracking you. Obviously, no. No, I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. And, if you want it, that's fine. You get it.
I think the scariest thing is that a lot of people think when they get the vaccine, they can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And that's not the case.
Yeah, I posted somebody that had not educated themselves. Not that I'm educated by any means, but somebody posted the other day that somebody got the COVID vaccine and they got COVID the next week.
Yeah,
and they obviously,
I
tried to help them.
Yeah.
It takes 2 rounds.
Yeah,
and there's 28 days in between that.
Yeah,
and then another 2 weeks to a month after that. So. It's nothing instant.
From what I understand, and if you're watching this and I'm wrong, just you can comment below.
I'm sure they will.
And that's perfectly fine.
Please.
80% after the first dose, and up to 90-some percent, because there's nothing 100% in life. So 90%
death
is
taxes.
Yeah, death and taxes is the only thing.
People's going to fall and call an ambulance while you're eating.
That's guaranteed.
That's three guaranteed.
3 o'clock call, 3 a.m. call. You're going to get 12 midnight call. You're going to get, and then there's the promises of all the promises that people get a call from. Those are the only promises in the world.
Yep.
You're not 100% secure on the whole COVID.
But anyway, I'm sorry to distract you.
That's right.
You what was we talking about?
80%. 80%.
Yep.
Number one, first shot, 80%. You're covered. That's why, and from what I understand, overseas, they've only done 1 shot. They only do 1 shot. Because 80% is good.
But you make more money off
2 shots.
2 shots.
So you only get that 2 shots, 97%. And that's where you're going to get covered. The only thing is, people, you guys still wear your mask.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like anti-vaccine. I've obviously had on mine. I've never took a flu vaccine. I've never had the flu. There again, I used to be young.
Have you never had the flu?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, it sucks.
Never had the flu. And, I've worked hard on getting the immune system for 13 years of EMS. So,
yeah,
thankfully, I don't get too sick very often.
Well, they say that statistically, people, that's one thing that they can't understand is how come emergency workers are not getting infected like the rest of society.
Yeah.
And they say we've got a stronger immune system.
That makes sense.
Because we've seen and done it, man.
Yeah, and I done this 12 years, like 13 if you count first responder and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You were a wuss if you wore a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, any kind of mask.
Yeah.
And I remember like when H1N1 came around, and we may have wore them once or twice. But it didn't receive the publicity that this
Jerry
has.
Rogers used to say back in the day when he first started, which was when EMS first
many moons ago. Yeah.
that they would consider you wuss if you wore gloves.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but so now our Pappers, we had Pappers since I had started there, same ones.
Yeah,
And
personal Pappers.
No, just ones on the truck.
Okay.
And I've never seen anybody use them. So when this all started kind of ramping up, they pulled them off for an in service, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to be aware of how to use these." And when they went to put them on, the hoses had dry rotted and pulled it too. And
they're like, "Don't use them now."
Yeah, don't use them now. Thankfully, we got them back quickly. Got new ones because I had to shave my beard, and I look like a adolescent, obese, naked mole rat.
Yeah.
Now I just look like
that.
now I just look
day.
obese.
But I remember the mole rat look
it was
you
terrible.
said you had.
Terrible.
Now, y'all got Pappers on the truck now,
We do.
so y'all can bring the beards back.
Yeah.
Have you wore one yet?
Yeah.
I have to.
There. If you got somebody that's real sick with it, it's definitely.
Just tilt that back up.
It's definitely. Please subscribe to Lights and Sirens.
Yep.
But they can be a little aggravating. The most aggravating thing is it's like a cleaner in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it took to get my beard back.
Yours the one who got the belt. You wear it around your belt. Yeah, that's ours too.
We've got these like plastic disposable hoods.
The only thing about it is the hood's kind of like coming to like a triangle shape.
Ours doesn't, but ours is completely clear, like the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You look obviously silly.
You're like Sub-Zero from Batman.
We were, yeah. 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 You feel like Sub-Zero, too.
Yeah.
Like, you get out in the middle of the night, and all that does is pipe all that cold air, like, straight on top of your head. So, but anyway.
When we first got, did y'all get the reprimand or get told about making sure you wear a mask more and make sure you wear a mask in the base or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we thought about one day taking the Pappers and sitting around watching TV with all our Pappers on inside the base. Just take a picture and see what it looks like.
Tell the public you're going above and beyond.
Yeah.
I've not got any weird looks like from people.
I
guess people seen it on the news so much.
Yeah.
But you walk in and like at first we was wearing Tyvek suits.
Yeah.
Like the full zip up, look like you're coming to paint their house.
Mm-hmm.
And that, and I was really expecting people to like shoot at us or the aliens are here, but nobody's really gave us a hard time.
We went from the Tyvex to like the ponchos.
That's what we're wearing
like
now.
The blue ponchos.
I had to do a bunch of research on it if it was to be transmitted off surfaces or cloth. Because we took like we took everything off trucks that was porous.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I don't, people's like cleaning surfaces and this and that and whatever floats your boat, but they say the risk of it being transmitted off the surface is very low. They don't even consider it really a transmittable source that way. But
now you have kind of a hobby, right?
Work, yeah.
Work?
I work.
No, work's not.
No,
you got another hobby, don't you?
I do a little woodworking.
And tell me how that going. What got you into woodworking?
I was married and needed something to do. No.
You just walk outside one day and
took so in high school I took shop class because that's the thing to do. By gosh, because it was easy. That's how I had a high GPA. But I had a really cool shop teacher, Stephen Green, and so I got into it, enjoyed it. I took it pretty much every semester to the point he was like making up classes for us our senior year to take, which was cool. And I really enjoyed it. Got out of it, and my mom's got a garage, cleaned it out, and I'd redone it. And I was like, I'm gonna get a few tools just to do this for that, and then it went full blown.
Nice.
So,
well, that's a gift. I wouldn't know what to do if I had to. If somebody, it's really an art.
I guess. Um, I'm all right at it. I reckon.
You're really good at it.
I
I've seen some of your work.
I don't have a lot of time for it. Obviously, it's like I'd like to.
Mm.
My goal was initially to replace some part time EMS with that, but then I was like, well, I won't get to see Shannon.
Yeah.
So I just threw that
You got
dream.
other
I threw
one.
that dream in the trash for you.
You got, well, I hate to be the one that done it to you, but I'm thankful.
No, I that is what keeps me from it mostly. Obviously, when COVID hit, we lost our babysitter. Permanently. We didn't know it was permanent, but it turned out to be permanent.
Did she get COVID forever?
No, she just decided she didn't want to watch kids no more. No, I don't know what her reason was. She was like, I mean, we still talk to her, all that. That's getting off on another subject.
Yeah.
But anyway, from like March to September, I did
Mhm.
not have a babysitter.
So you the babysitter?
So I was a babysitter, worked nights.
Because your wife works during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She worked from home for a long time, which was actually, that helped us out a whole lot.
Yeah.
But so from March to September, I didn't do a whole lot of anything but work and watch the youngin, which was a blessing. I mean, in the long run, it's time to never get back with a kiddo. She's growing up fast, so that put a damper on it. Now I work all the time. Obviously, COVID and everything else, everybody's needing help from people being out, but hopefully we'll get it fired up, going big one day.
That's the thing about the quarantine is we never really got quarantined.
Yeah.
We still had to work.
Yeah.
EMS was still out there doing its thing.
Which was fine with me. I'd much rather work than have sat in the house and been scared to death.
Yeah. That's just part of it, And the whole thing about the fear is, in my opinion, of course this is my opinion, is that we've labeled everything that we know that this virus has a tendency to be bad, and it's killed lots and lots and lots of people. And so for us as EMS, we know that. We don't necessarily see that, but we know that. But what we get is the people who have gotten it, barely have had any type of symptoms or side effects, but because of the fear, they get thrown into this little pocket here, and so it's all just mixed up, and we don't see that.
Yeah, I think the world draws too many conclusions from what they hear and see on TV.
Yeah.
And social media versus
Yeah.
drawing their own conclusion.
Yeah. Well, it's actually just studying.
Obviously, if you work in a COVID unit, it's going to be worse.
Oh yeah.
Than if us. We don't work in. I mean, we see it, but we don't see it.
Yeah.
To an extent.
So ultimately, as EMS workers, we recognize, we know it's bad, but we see a lot of bad.
Yeah. I think another thing is it's been turned. Everything's been screwed up with the world in our country, but I think it's been turned into such a political weapon.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question.
That it's changed how a lot of people look at it and whether they take it serious or not.
2021, I think, is going to be a year of the eye-opening events.
It should be interesting
because we've already, we've already seen how Twitter and Facebook and social networkers are starting to, shut conservative voices down, and that could happen to anybody.
Scary.
If I don't like how, especially, it's all based on private businesses, and so if I don't like how, you say things, then I don't have to have you. That's scary. Yeah. That's scary.
I know. I mean, what if you kick me out of here?
I wouldn't do that.
That's good.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a mess.
What do you think? Let me ask you this: when do you think the whole COVID thing will be done?
Who knows? I don't know.
You think this year?
Maybe by the end of it.
You think?
Maybe, or slowed down. I don't like the whole mask thing, especially with us, like in healthcare, and it's obviously changed. It's obviously changed a whole lot forever. Hopefully the world in general, like day-to-day life, goes back to normal. For kids, and
I think that I never would imagine. You remember watching movies about people in China or seeing newscasts and they have masks on.
Yep.
And I would always be like, God, I'm so thankful that's not here. And boom, here we are.
There's a guy I work with that mentioned that the other day. He's like, I thought I'd never see us wearing masks. And that's a huge debate. Which we don't want to get into.
Yeah.
By any means, whether we're on the same side.
Yeah. That's
people will march on us before we can get out of here.
That's a rabbit trail that'll go on and on and on and on.
But I find it weird that you can't. Everybody's like, "Oh, they'll save you." So, but if you don't wear you got to wear yours. Well, if you trust yours so much,
yeah,
you do your
We're
thing.
wearing masks and we're still getting it.
Yep. By the way, I got you a viewer from the other side of the country.
I'm gonna tell you, I like Jay Nance, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous because he's in Montana.
Yeah, I think he's in California now.
What?
Like he's still living in Montana, but he's important. He's big to do.
Is he?
Something I don't know.
I saw you comment on his.
He is, yeah. So he's one of the. I will give him this. He's one of the few human beings on the other side of that fence that you can have, or I have had an intelligent conversation with, or we can poke at each other and go on about the end of the day, which is the way everybody should be.
Yeah.
You do your thing, I do mine, and we'll get along. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. But he got COVID.
Oh no!
And he's a big mask dude.
Yeah.
And I told him on Facebook, I was like, if I was heartless, I would make some comment about masks right now, but I'm not, so I hope you get better. But I had sent that we were doing this to a few people on Messenger, and he's seen it, so he was excited.
Yeah.
He asked if you sold one of your 18 kids.
Not yet.
He said
we're still looking for people.
Did he sell one of his 18 kids to afford all his equipment?
We're still trying to figure out.
He said this one's strong and good with a plow.
This one hard-headed. Work him all day long.
That cracked me up.
We're still trying to find a good buyer. And also trying to figure out which one we can get rid of. We don't need the least of.
Couldn't imagine.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure you get tired of hearing about it too, especially from me.
No, listen. When we were married and it's like when we had 4 to 6 kids, we would walk into Sam's and people would give us that look like they must be
freaking
Amish.
Duggars.
Yeah. And I think what we started kind of making fun of it because we would walk in the Sam's, and of course we would get that, hey, you know what causes it. And eventually it got so comical, people were like, hey, do you know what causes this? I go, yeah. I just can't keep her hands off of me,
You should have said I've been buying my condoms at Sam's. I guess they're defective.
That's exactly right. We've been buying these right here. So, but I know it's I'm kind of used to it now. Somebody sends me, I just get a picture every week from somebody saying, they have these stick figures on the vans, and, and people are like, "Is this your van?" I'm like, "No." But, so you have not. I guess you gonna go 30 years.
Oh yeah, I have no choice. So I started when I was 19.
But you did it at 12.
Yep.
So you have, 18 more years. All right.
Yeah, roughly 7.
You gonna do 30?
I'm pretty fortunate. Where I work full time, we earn quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
So if I don't die from my STEMI that I'm gonna have, which is another inside joke between me and Scotty Darnell, but we're both convinced that's what's gonna happen to us.
Both
at an early age. Yeah.
I've seen you work at STEMI before. You're pretty good. Man. You take care of yourself.
Yeah. What makes all that worse is what's gonna happen. You're like, oh God.
You know what's next.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is when they take my pants down.
Yeah. If I can live that long and make it to the end, yeah, I'll do 30.
So, but you're still gonna be young.
Yeah, I'll be. So if I stay healthy and keep most of my sick time, I should be able to retire around like the 48, 49.
So then what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I guess be like Jerry Rogers and work. I don't know.
What a hard time.
I don't know, work at
1,000
Walmart
hours
as
a
a door
year.
greeter.
1,000 hours for each 3 EMS jobs you have.
I don't know. I've thought about that, and I don't really have a lot of clue. Maybe my woodworking will be big enough that
I'll buy from you.
I'll just do that.
I'd buy from you in a heartbeat.
But I don't know. I try not to think about it, or
It's gonna be here for you.
Yeah, well, that's why. Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, I can't wait to retire." And while it'll be nice, yeah, time flies by. Dude, when I had my kid, like, there's so much that comes full circle in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see myself being more like my dad, like on certain things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know how much some groceries were, and like power bill and this that, but you hear all these people like, time flies by.
Mm-hmm.
My granny, she's 92, 93, and you hear her, time flies by,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're young, you don't think about it, and then. I was like, oh, I'm 28. But then when I had a kid, man, it's like, I don't know where times went.
Yeah.
Not trying to be.
I'm telling you.
Yep.
It
does fly.
I think it because Michael, who does our media here, he's 21 years old. He's gonna be 2 and 2, and I feel like it was just yesterday. I handed him a controller to an Xbox, original Xbox. And he's like, "What's this?" And so he takes on, he's playing, and now I'm like, "God dang, man, where did that time go?"
Yeah, and I think doing this job, you realize it a whole lot more.
Oh yeah,
to an extent.
Without question.
So,
without question.
But
it'll be here for you.
Yeah, so I try not to rush it. A lot of medics, including myself, you run a bunch of calls or whatever. We like to complain.
We do.
I'm really good at it too.
I think we all have a really good gift at that.
I've been told I have a negative attitude before. It's not a negative attitude, but anyway. But I've enjoyed it. My 12 years have been pretty good. I've got to do some cool stuff. This is my nervous tick, evidently. I've just realized I keep putting my hand behind my head. But no, I've enjoyed it overall. Met a lot of cool people. I've done a few cool things.
What we talked about yesterday was the fact that we do complain.
Oh yeah, I think it's an outlet to an extent.
Yeah, we got that little bit of drive time before we get to that call, and that's our complaint time. But in all reality, it's not a bad job.
Oh no.
How many jobs have you had?
So I started working when I was 14 because I grew up on the streets. No, I'm just kidding. I
grew up in the ghetto.
Yeah. The ghetto in Wilkes County means you lived in a double-wide trailer that was 2 single-wides that got put together, and you don't have power. But no, I started working for a moving company when I was 14.
Oh.
I never done sports because I was a loser. No, I used to be in shape and not fat. But anyway,
you told me about the days when you was in high school.
So I started working for him when I was 14. He paid really, really good. I think I made $10 an hour.
Back then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Back then. God.
That was what? It had been at least 10 years ago.
14 would have been 15, 16, 18. God dang.
I know. That's a long time ago, dude. $10 an hour 18 years ago?
Yeah, so he done it as a part-time business. Him and my dad worked together, sort of, at the DOT. But anyway, that was his grandfather's business. He's my neighbor.
Yeah.
He took really good care of us, paid us good. It was good money. Be 14, 15, 16. So I done that. He slowed down a whole lot. I went to work for Lowe's Hardware in the store my senior year of high school.
Lowe's Hardware.
I actually enjoyed that pretty good. Turns out my store manager, he actually works on my shift now.
Really?
Yeah. So now I wouldn't say his boss, but his supervisor. So the world turns, but he's way smarter and richer than I'll ever be. So he's still got one up on me. He's a cool dude. But anyway, I worked there for a year. And then when I started medic school, that's 2008, so that's when the economy tanked. I don't really remember. I remember it, but obviously I was 18. I didn't care. Whatever. Mom and dad will take care of me. And so they cut hours back to like nothing. So while I was in medical school, I actually worked for Miller's Beef Supply
Okay.
in Wilkes, which is kind of like Brushy Mountain that shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So I had some woodworking experience. Not that you necessarily needed it to work there, but I worked there 3 days a week. I hated it. I didn't hate the people that I worked for, but it was like factory work, do the same thing all day, and it was horrible. It's hard. A great mind like mine, as intellectual as I am,
kind of pushes you down.
You could tell like my work. The guy that owned the place was even like, I can tell you get bored because like grading stuff for he's like, you'll start out great, by the end of the day it's just not nearly as good as it was.
Yeah.
Not to mention the people they hired there was lacked a lot to be desired, I guess would be the best way to say it. So he moved me into like helping his wife like on the sales floor and shipping and this and that. And I enjoyed that, and they were nice enough to, work around my schedule. So I got done with medical school. So I got done with medical school. Actually, my mom and dad were gracious enough. I started clinicals. They're like, hey, listen, if you will get your clinicals done as fast as you can, you don't have to work. So I knocked that out in like 2 months.
Awesome.
So that was, that was good of them. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
But so pretty much my adult life, I've just worked at EMS.
Yeah. But you've in your side jobs at EMS.
Yes.
A lot of people don't recognize and know that if you work EMS, you've got to have a second and third job.
So when I was in clinicals, there's several people. It's like you might as well just prepare to get another job. So yeah, obviously, if you have 12 kids, you're gonna have multiple jobs. 3 or 4. I did not have one. I didn't have a part-time job though till 2012. So I went 4 years. Now during that 4 years, I lived at home. And I didn't save any money. I just bought whatever I wanted to. But when I got married, I actually got married almost the same time I started over here. Old Jake Cinnamon's like, hey, let's go apply at Alexander. Yeah. Because he worked at Wilkes full time.
So So he's the one that got you to apply.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we both come over here. I want to say Trey. I can't remember if Trey was in. If he was a power pup. Like he was just getting. I can't remember if he was or not. I think Jason Townsend got hired the same time I did, maybe, or awful close to. But anyway, so I started.
How long you been over here?
8 years.
So he was because I think Trey's only been over there like 5, going on 6.
So I've been here 8 years. And a little of it is, I think any human being likes to spend money and get things they want. So that's what it led to. Like, oh, I can just work a little more and we'll get this. And the next thing you know, we've got a lot, and here I am working all the time.
I know.
Because my parents, they didn't give me my silver spoon.
You're not gonna get it.
No.
You don't have it.
I got a little bit. I mean, I was pretty fortunate. I got some kind of a spoon. Yeah. Maybe like a plastic spoon, but
no. Well, here's what I think about having multiple jobs. Because of course I've had multiple jobs, and the thing about it is when you get started and having a second job, it wears on you. But eventually you get accustomed to or acclimated to working 2 jobs, and then you get a third job, and then you're kind of like, it's not that bad. You get accustomed to it, and then if you ever get a day off, you're like, I don't know what to do with myself.
I've been to that point. Like I've told my mom and my wife before, I'll be like, I feel like I shouldn't be home. Yeah. Like I need to be. And obviously I guess that's very healthy.
Oh no, it's not.
So yeah.
And you work night shifts.
Yes.
So how do you sleep during the day?
Yeah, absolutely. I go home and go to bed for my full 8 hours.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Well, we try.
It depends, obviously, on the night. I know we're not trying to talk about administration or anything like that, but any administration, anywhere,
yeah,
in anything, out EMS, factory work, if you think somebody that works nights is not going to try to or have a life during the day to some extent,
sure,
you're crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a proponent of we work 12s, you're not going to sleep at night.
Yeah.
You know, I have no choice but to have a life during the day.
Yeah.
I got to pick the kid up.
Sure.
There's days she's sick.
Yeah.
This and that. So it's really all based off what the night's like.
Yeah.
As to whether I sleep. I typically do a little bit, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody that's worked EMS obviously knows.
Yeah.
You don't sleep like you do at home.
Sure.
Typically, unless you're tired.
So the reason I'm going to talk about the whole sleeping thing is because I think because I work 24 hours and the sleeping aspect of EMS, you will lose a lot of that whole circadian rhythm.
Oh yeah.
Aspect.
Sleep anytime, anywhere.
Yeah. And I've been doing that a lot. Like I sit here and I'll, especially on days I get off and it's like all this chaos going on, and I'll just go.
Yeah.
And you were saying that anybody, regardless of what, organization you're with, this has nothing to do with anybody in particular. It's the fact that if you work nights, you have to be understanding that we got things to do during the day.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason why we decided to work nights.
Yeah, that especially EMS. I guess some places do shift diff, but
I don't know anybody.
Like my life in general is 100 times easier on night.
Mm-hmm. Well, it makes sense for a family man.
And I take off way less time. I mean, I still take off a bunch. Justin Bogus, if he's listening to this, I still take off a whole bunch, electively versus like days.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime the kid got sick, obviously I was the one with the most sick time or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so, or kids' birthday parties, or the family wants to do something. It's always during the day. Holidays are super nice on nights, because you're off when the important stuff's going on.
Yeah.
My captain calls me the shift recruitment retention officer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you coming tonight? Let me tell you what it can do for you. The other captain, he doesn't like it as much, because we've had a couple of his people come over, but I can't help it. That's a jab a little bit, but anyway, yeah, it does. Obviously, like if I'm off for a week and I sleep in my bed every night, I can obviously tell the difference in how I feel. Versus if I sleep all night, like if I work for you guys or whatever, and I do sleep all night, I think I feel good. I guess I do to some extent, but I definitely don't feel like I do if I've slept.
Yeah.
In my own
Here's
bed.
what I think should happen. I think that Sleep Number bed systems should be like, if I want to prove that my beds are the best in the world, I'm going to give them to EMS workers.
Absolutely.
And just see how much better they sleep. So then we can be
or how much heck they can take.
Yeah. And be like, dude, this is the best bed I've ever slept in my entire life.
Yeah. Because, EMS beds, they take a beating in
Oh
more ways than one.
I beat the sheets.
You beat what?
The sheets.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The sheets, the bed sheets.
Yeah.
On my bed, it looks like somebody has done the twister because my sheets are all, I can't get comfortable.
Yeah, they're all like, the majority of EMS employees are full figured.
Sure. Sexy.
You got some people it's not, but like Scotty Darnell.
Yeah.
And Jordan. Cursed. Yeah, they're cursed. They're going to be skinny forever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they take a beating.
Yeah.
And they don't get replaced often.
No.
And they get all kinds of weird stains on them.
Oh, yeah.
that you don't want to think about.
Yeah, you
But-
kind of go away from the imagination
Yeah.
a little bit.
All kinds of bad things happen on them, I'm sure.
What's the greatest thing in your mind about EMS?
It definitely is like we've talked about. It definitely has to be the people you meet.
Yes.
Like some of the people you meet on like patients you take care of.
Yeah.
I met some pretty cool people. But as far as the people you meet, coworkers.
Oh yeah.
That's where I've made obviously some of my super close friendships.
Yeah.
I don't want to start naming because there's a bunch. But
And you won't name them all. You won't be able to name them all.
of course, Scotty. I'll name him a bunch, but everybody
Scotty
knows.
Too Hottie Darnell.
Yeah, everybody
Yes.
loves
The
Scotty
legend.
because he's got muscles and he's
He's so smart.
yeah. I love you, Scotty. So Scotty, me and him pretty much got started like at the same time, and we have virtually worked the same shift for 13 years, and we just happen to be good friends. Our families hang out with each
Did y'all
other.
buy motorcycles together?
No.
Did you buy yours first, or did you buy his first?
He grew up on motorcycles,
Okay.
dirt bikes, and so I decided to buy the first motorcycle I bought. I don't really want to talk about it. Yeah,
Say it.
hide my face. I did not grow up on motorcycles at all.
I haven't either.
I rode bicycles and
Yeah, that was your motorcycle.
Yep. So I thought I needed a Ninja 250.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a Kawasaki.
I remember that one.
Oh gosh, I felt such a badass at the time till I seen myself on it. I wasn't nearly as fat as I am now, but I was fatter than I used to be. And so everybody, including Scotty's, like, you don't need to get that. And I'm like, no, I think I do. Well, like 3 months later, I felt like I was riding a moped, and I pretty much was. I think that thing run like 99 on a good day downhill.
99.
I think you run like 99, 100, but that was wound out.
That's pretty scary, dude.
On that, yeah. So I bought that. I sold it. I lost my tail on it. I bought a cruiser. I really enjoyed it. Me and the wife used to ride around on it a whole bunch. I sold it when we got married and built a house.
I could see you on a cruiser.
So then Scotty bought a crotch rocket.
Oh.
And then he sold me that crotch rocket a couple
Was
years
that
later.
the black one?
Mm-hmm.
I remember. That's the one I remember.
And then he bought a new crotch rocket, and I had it for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And we rode together. Lots and lots.
Yeah.
Done lots of stupid stuff.
How fast did that get?
That one ran 165.
Oh.
Scotty's would run like, he had a 1,000, it run like 185. But Scotty's a lot braver than I was as far as doing insanely stupid stuff like wheelies at high speeds and this and that. But we had a lot of fun. We would like meet each other, go into work every morning. We would just start riding. Till we run into each other, which is how I got pulled doing 115 and 35.
Oh. How'd you get out of that?
It's the good Lord's grace, I guess.
Yeah.
Me and Scotty met each other, and we was both running just about the same. I looked down, and I was running 115. It was a Sunday morning. I'd passed like 2 or 3 cars. I was married. I had no kid at the time. So I was being wild and spreading my seeds and oats. But anyway, so I met Scotty, and I pulled over to wait on him. Well, as I'm pulled over, I'm sitting there looking in my mirror waiting on Scotty, and I see blue lights. And like I said, it's a Sunday morning. There's nobody out. And I was like, I wonder who he's going after. Well, he pulls in behind me, and I'm like, oh, crap. So he had come out of a road, I supposed, and he did, where a trooper lives that I knew really good. And I was like, please be this guy, please be this guy. Like, I literally had my eyes closed, and I was just looking out my gas tank. And when he walked up to me, I looked up, and I didn't know him from Job. And I was like, oh, no. And he's like, tell me tell me what you thought was smart about that. Well, I didn't want to be like, was you in that line of cars I passed? So I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, coming so fast through that intersection. And of course I was like, I'm sorry, officer, I was stupid, blah, blah, blah. I think I really ruined his day because Scotty said he came through the intersection like sideways, spinning tires. And I'm sure he was like Roscoe. He was like, go get him. And there I am at the bottom of the hill, just pulled over. And he's like, ah.
Crap.
Yeah. So I have never played the I work for EMS card. Like, I work for EMS. I shouldn't get a ticket or whatever.
Yeah.
I can say I've never played that card. But that morning, I was like, I have got to say something.
Yeah.
So I like start inching my way over to his car, and he's like, I need you to get back to your motorcycle. I was like, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, he figured out where I work. And he's like, the only reason I'm not going to write you a ticket is because I did not have my radar on. He's like, but you were going fast. And I guess he was wanting me to tell him. I was like, yeah, a little bit. So he let me go. That was the only time I really ever got pulled on it. Caught, I guess would be a better word to say. But
I have never used the EMS card before. And it bit me for not using the EMS card.
It's bit me before. The trooper's like, he seen me. I'm not saying we get away with stuff like that for free.
We don't. I'll tell you my story here.
It's a little professional courtesy, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like, man, you didn't say anything? I'm like, well, I'm not better.
Yeah.
I think it looked bad. I just couldn't bring myself to it.
I 100% agree.
If they're nice enough,
yeah.
If they realize or know me and they're nice enough, I greatly appreciate it. Fortunately, I've had 2 speeding tickets in the county I worked in and paid for both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, lawyer and all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I had one in Rhode Island.
100% agree with you. I'm no better off. I had the seatbelt one time, and the guy caught me, and it's one of those situations where I was like, "Oh crap, there's a cop," and I put the seatbelt on, and then he, about a mile down the road, he pulls me. He's like, "Hey, you know why I'm pulling you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because I didn't have my seatbelt on." He's like, "Yeah, well, just stay here for a minute." He writes me a ticket, and then he came back later and was like, "Man, I didn't know you worked for EMS. Why are you saying that?" And I was like, "I should have my seatbelt on." That's simple.
I got pulled in Rhode Island.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Speeding. So me and my wife, when she found out she was pregnant, we had the baby's daddy pay for us a trip, and we decided we were going to go. We were going to go to Cape Cod, but we went to Hershey, Pennsylvania, stayed there, went to Cape Cod. But anyway, so in Rhode Island, it was like 6 lanes both ways, so like 12 lanes. It was huge.
Yeah.
And everybody's running like 80.
Yeah.
But it's 55. Well, of course, I was running like 80, 85. But I made the mistake of I had weaved in and out traffic, evidently. So I get pulled. And so we're in Rhode Island. He sounds like he sounds. And I sound like I sound. Smooth.
Yeah.
My voice up.
Smooth with that deep podcast voice.
So he like comes up to me and he's like, what are you doing up here in Rhode Island, So we told him he's going to Cape Cod. He's like, you speeding? I was like, yep. Everybody else was too, but yep, I definitely was. So I don't know if you can conceal carry in Rhode Island, but I had 2 pistols under the seat. I was just like he was giving us the eyeball.
I bet these country folk got
he's like,
guns.
Oh, hello, officer. What are you doing? Yeah. So he gets my ID. He gets my wife's ID. He does not ask to search car, but he looks in both back windows. He looks in the back glass. Like, you could tell he thought, I guess, we was drug smugglers or something, which I'm too scared to do because I don't want to go to prison. But yeah, I got a ticket out of that. But it was simple. I just paid like $150 online.
No, ain't bad.
It never went on my insurance. No.
That sounds.
So I went through a state this big.
And you got pulled.
I got pulled.
I bet he thought these people were so carrying everything.
He's like, yeah, what are these fools doing from North Carolina? And it was like a random time. It was like October, so there was nothing obviously going on Cape Cod. It was the tourist season was shut down. So anyway, back to motorcycles. I got rid of the crotch rocket. when my kid was born.
Sure.
Not really because of the kid, but I used part of that money
Sure.
to get into my woodworking stuff. And I missed it every day since. And I probably should have died several times. And I'll never have another one, but I'd love to. Like, I'd go get one tomorrow.
Wow.
My wife would definitely kill me. And I guess I need one.
I believe I would kill you if you wouldn't want one.
So I got a cruiser again.
Nice.
Yeah, she's so I ride every chance I get.
That's
I'm getting to that point now. It's like wild hogs or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not really that cool. I just feel cool.
You do look cool. You do. I could see you on a cruiser.
So yeah.
I got on a cross rocket one time, and the guy had it sitting still, and he's like, "Get on, I'm getting ready to leave." So I got on it, and I revved it up just like a hair, and it was like 120. I was like, negative.
I have never done drugs.
Yeah.
I've never even took pain medicine outside like over the counter. So you know we judge people like, I cannot believe you worthless freer doing drugs.
Yeah.
But if it's anything like riding across, I mean that adrenaline rush is the most addictive thing.
I'd be
there is ever
scared.
been.
Pissless.
Like I would go. I live at foot of 16 Mountain
Mm.
towards Ash. Not this 16 Mountain, there's 16 Mountain. And like I would go ride it as hard as I possibly could every evening. I don't know how I ever got killed or a ticket. And I was not. I thought I was good, or I felt like I was till I ran into somebody that was. But
Yeah.
it was. I guess I know what people do cocaine. I guess I don't know.
Now you got 4-wheeler?
No, I sold that too. I had a side by side. We had a razor.
Oh.
I had a kid. I got rid of that. I got rid of my motorcycle. I got rid of it. But we didn't use it a whole lot. It was for play. It was not for work.
Yeah.
We went to West Virginia. Riding. So I thought I had to have one. I got it. We went a couple times. It was fun while it lasted.
So 2021 is here, and everybody makes goals or resolutions. We don't do resolutions, we do goals.
Yeah.
What would you like to see happen by the end of 2021 for you? What do you see going on in your life at the end of 2021?
Man, if I don't know. I guess I haven't set any goals.
No.
Pay off some debt and survive, and maybe the world go back to normal a little bit.
Be prepared.
I've definitely not set that I'm going to lose weight goal. Even if I was going to do that, which I've obviously I'm not. I definitely would
You
not.
lost a lot of weight. You did.
I did.
Yeah.
Did lose quite a bit, and then I found it. Thankfully, yeah, I was worried about
So
it.
you
You challenged me. You were like,
let's go
"Let's
here
go
and
on a walk."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we
So
were
we're
walking.
walking.
COVID, no lie, that COVID, I think that's made a lot of people fat.
Sure.
I mean, sitting around, like I said,
there
there for a while.
You know,
My mom and sister
helped
out with the kiddo when they could, but
Mhm.
there for a while it was just like survival mode. Like
go home, watch the kid. I'm gonna
Yeah.
sleep as much as I can when I
Sure.
can, sit still.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to eat and this and that, and it's always nice to have something to blame for being fat.
Well,
It's not my
if you can-
fault.
if you-
It's not my fault.
if you can find something, to kind of put that on, you're doing good.
Yeah, so
You know what I mean?
not my fault.
So what do you can't find time to do woodworking?
I do a little bit. I do mostly work and watch the kiddo.
Mm-hmm.
She goes pre-K 3 days a week, and we can send her 5 days. But I enjoy, like I said, she's gonna grow up,
Yeah,
so I try and keep her at home some.
that's cool.
But I do a little bit. I'm finishing a table up right now for a guy I work with, farm table, and I hunt a little bit and hang out with the
Did
family.
you go hunt this year?
I did.
Did you get anything?
I killed one.
Nice.
Yeah. It was
Now, tell that story about you going on the game land and some guy Some guy came out and on your right there at your camera. Remember that?
Oh yeah. So I put, since nobody hunt in this part of the world, I went on some game lands, put up cameras,
Yeah.
and like I'd looked and looked on the map, and I walked to the middle of nowhere where nobody should walk for a deer. And put a camera up, felt good about it. It had everything that it's supposed to, like they tell on hunting shows.
Yeah.
Left it there for like 2 weeks. And so the day I went to get my card, I decided I was going to hunt it. So I, in my fat state, drug my climbing stand, my butt, drug all my junk, and I walked to the top of this mountain. So it was pretty much like Allegheny County.
Yeah.
And it's where I walked, it was. And fought getting all that up. I'm sweating and stinky, and by the time I get it up, it's like, oh gosh, why I do this? Take it all down. I pull my card, and I'm like, there's got to be, if there's a deer anywhere on this game land, it's got to be here.
Yeah.
I got back. I had like 6, 7 pointer, nothing special. And then I had a spike come through. I was like, that one's mine. No.
Yeah.
I had a spike come through like early one morning at daylight, and then I had this father and son, and like by son, I mean he about could put him in a backpack and carry him, and come through at like daylight, and I'm like, crap, are they doing that far back in there? And then like an hour later, they come out dragging this spike.
That's fine.
And I was just like, gosh dang it. So that's when I never hunt a game land again. So they're everywhere. I don't want to get shot neither.
Now, do you got your own land now?
One of my buddies, Travis Hodges, he's polite enough to take a meager homeless beggar in.
Meager man just looking to feed his family.
He's got some land that we hunt together, which is always fun hunting with somebody.
Now, do you turkey hunt?
No, I do not.
Would you go turkey hunting?
Yeah. I mean, I just never have, or I have, but
I never saw anything when I went, but it was fun.
My first cousin's really big into it. He's got like his Grand Slam or whatever, like every bird, every species of turkey.
That's nice.
So
now, do you fish?
I've not in a long time. I like to, but just
there we go.
But yeah, I just hadn't had time.
Why is it we don't do that?
I don't know. Part of the machine, man.
I guess so.
Part of the
Company
machine.
men.
Yeah.
We're company men.
It's hard to find time, and then we'll all be dead.
Now, did you ever play video games?
Yeah, I still do.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, I'm a dork.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you play?
Mainly Call of Duty. So there's like 4 of us on my shift that play. Not at work.
No, not at all. This is free time at home.
Yes, absolutely. Gotcha. Call of Duty. I mean, obviously, I've been Call of Duty geek.
Now, have you played the new one?
The Black Ops.
Is it Black Ops?
It's the Black Ops.
Yeah.
No, I've never been a Black Ops fan. So I guess I was a senior when that first came out, like the first Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
And so I was hooked on them, and then I never played any of the Black. I've played them, but I was never into the Black Ops.
Yeah. I think my son plays. He loves Black Ops. Every Black Ops is possible.
Yeah,
find.
that's the younger generation.
Yeah.
That's old folk.
So you play Modern Warfare?
Yeah, but like, I think there's more older people that play video games.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was young, I don't think there's nearly as many 32-year-olds playing video games as there is now. But a lot of we all grew up on them.
Yeah.
And I don't play a whole lot. I mean, not because I don't want to, but
yeah. We so when I started slowing down playing video games, is when really video games started getting really good.
Yeah.
And so, like I was telling you earlier, Michael kind of took over my Xbox because I bought an Xbox, and he started playing Metal Gear.
Oh, that was my first.
That was everybody's first.
Yes.
That popped everybody's cherry.
Yes, it did.
Snake popped so many cherries.
So I had this friend that he lived with his grandparents. He got his foot cut off on my birthday. completely random.
That is totally random, but you got to tell me.
My mom had me a birthday. I never had birthday parties as far as like go to a venue, which that was fine. But she had a birthday party at Burger King one time, and like everybody's like, "Where's so and so at?" And like he never did show up, and we found out it's because he slid off his slide into his grandma's lawnmower and cut his foot off. Or
So
half
this
his
is
foot
before
off.
your birthday.
This is on my
He
birthday.
didn't make it to your birthday.
No,
Okay.
like I was pissed. Dude,
Oh.
no, I'm just kidding. Why didn't you come?
Dude, you could have
No.
just wrapped it up and
Yeah.
just come to my birthday party.
He ended up having a lot of issues, and we were not friends long after when he got into his hormonal years. But anyway, what was the whole thing we were even talking about?
Talking about Metal Gear.
Oh yeah, he had Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
He was the first one to get PlayStation and Metal Gear, and we were just all like, "Oh gosh," you know.
I know.
As the look at those graphics, holy crap! So I begged and pleaded with Santa Claus, and I got a PlayStation and Metal Gear Solid, and played the ever living bejesus out of
No,
it.
absolutely.
Tried to save whatever her name was. Was it Meryl?
You don't remember?
I think it was.
Was it Metal Gear Solid that we had for Xbox?
They didn't make. Well, they later.
Splinter Cell is what you was hooked on to.
Yeah,
But we also had Metal Gear.
Metal Gear 2 came out for PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
which blew everybody's mind. With
So, yeah. So when after he got a hold of that, and I never got to play it again until this year, and I've been playing the Hound Dog out of no, well, PJ, have you ever played golf?
no, I have played golf. I'm horrible at it.
No,
I caddy.
Do you?
Yeah,
So you caddy for somebody else?
I caddy. Yeah, cause
So I've been playing PJ Tour 2K1, and I've been playing Vice City. And dude, it's just something about being able to go and slap somebody and pull them out of the car and race all
It's
over.
pretty much like going to Oregon, Portland, or something. That's what they do up in the Chaz or whatever it is.
Up where there's no law.
Yeah,
There's no law at all. You can do whatever you want to do.
reckless lefties.
Well, what do you do? They can get it's easy for them to get by with. That's liberty.
Yeah, it's not violent.
That's freedom of
It's
speech.
not violent.
Whatever. So you play video games? That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you any good?
I'm all right.
Do y'all get on the radio like your little headsets and
No, none of us have
you got
went
a
that
bogey coming
hardcore.
to your left?
There's one guy I think out of all of us that's got one. And I was like, man, you know, how much is this? He's like $200. I was like, gosh, that's
Oh no!
that's like 18 hours worth of work.
Yeah. Are you talking about a controller?
Yeah,
Yeah.
headset. Like he's got some
Headset.
Turtle Beach platinum.
We bought our
controller.
son for Christmas this year $178 controller.
Wow.
I
All the other
whooped
kids
his
went
butt.
without anything.
I whooped his butt with a regular controller on PJ Tour 2K1.
Yeah, that stuff's expensive.
Well, any hobby's gonna be expensive.
I got my. Oh, I got my controller took away.
Who took your controller away?
I can't. I don't know if I should talk about this. It got took away by my boss.
Oh.
That's a long story, but it got took away. Like it's a long story,
Yeah.
but I had to ask for it back.
Your boss. Can I have my controller back?
Excuse me, sir. Sir, may I
I promise I won't ever do it again.
I think I don't think he took it, but I think he was trying to do me a solid, keep away from fussing or something. I don't know.
I understand that. It happened. That happens. That's happened before elsewhere. Our supervisors look after us.
But mine does. Anyway,
so, daggone it, I had a thought in my head. What is one of those times where the session where we ask 5 questions to get to know you better
oh
about
boy,
you? All right.
shoot away.
Number 1,
do my nerves.
If you could eat any fast food restaurant in the world,
In the world, there's probably something out there I don't
Just
know
one.
that exists that
just
I would
one
like.
that you know of, what would it be? Or what's your favorite fast food restaurant?
I guess it has to be that Jesus chicken.
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, I guess it has to be Chick-fil-A. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Now, have you had the Chick-fil-A from Sam's? Have you, or Walmart? Did you know they sell
I did not.
what is it? It's not like a labeled Chick-fil-A.
What are you talking
I
about?
know. What blasphemous chicken are you?
Liar.
So, no joke. There is a bag chicken breast, and chicken nuggets, and they do waffle fries. Same company, but
It's not blessed.
it's not blessed.
Dang
Because
it.
I think it tastes a little bit like pickles.
I don't really know if it's blessed or not. It tears me up sometimes. Maybe
Y'all got a good
maybe that's
Chick-fil-A.
Jesus getting the evil out, the
Y'all
devil
got
out
a pretty
of it.
amazing Chick-fil-A up in Wilkes.
Dude, Chick-fil-A's got it going on. Like, anywhere for the most part.
Yeah.
They make McDonald's look like
They're still not letting us go
garbage
eat inside.
as far as cutting. No. They make McDonald's look like garbage, though. And they've definitely got the drive-through thing down pat.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
They know what's going on.
yeah, it would probably be like if I'm a pretty big Bojangles fan too. I guess that's just raised in the South thing and working EMS.
Mm-hmm.
My kid for a while could have been sponsored by Bojangles.
Bojangles?
Oh, she loves some chicken.
What's your favorite breakfast thing at Bojangles? Chicken biscuit.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, have you had
Supreme.
their steak biscuit?
Their steak's really good.
So good. I
Yeah.
had a friend of mine. This was a long time ago. They were like, "Have you ever had a steak biscuit from Bojangles?" And I was like, "No, I've never had." They were like, "Go get one," and I'm telling you, this changed my life forever. Absolutely, 100%. Favorite superhero?
I was always an Iron Man fan.
Really?
Yeah, I guess. Kind of fits my personality. He's a little bit of a smart ass sometimes too.
Yeah.
So I guess
Iron Man's cool. As a
growing
matter,
up,
as a matter of fact, I saw an Iron Man glove gauntlet today. And I was like, God, I love that.
my brother-in-law, he's a dork. Sorry. No,
We love you, but you're a dork.
Yeah, he was super hard in the comic books, and I used to give him a hard time. I'd be like, Star Wars, Star Wars. Well, I like Star Wars. I just actually watched all Star Wars all the way through
Just now?
consecutive. Like, no, I'd seen them all,
Yeah.
but I had never sat down at one
Did
time.
you watch them all in order?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about it.
It was good. It made a lot more sense. Like,
Did you even watch the Rogue?
yes,
Wow. so you
Rogue
did.
One and Han Solo.
So have you watched The Mandalorian?
I have. They were good.
So good.
Yeah. My wife has never watched Star Wars. I've tried to get her to.
What's wrong with her?
I don't know. There's a lot of things she hadn't seen before she started dating moi.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. I
But-
have that same one.
Anyway, so yeah, Iron Man. I guess.
Because
Yep.
he's rich? Just because he's
I
smart?
just always thought he looked cool.
Oh, he is cool.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I haven't told Michael this, but you know, have
The
you
Iron
seen-
Man's dead. I'm sorry.
Have you seen Spider-Man? The new Spider-Man?
The newest.
Um,
Which one? There's
Homecoming?
yes.
Is it Homecoming?
Where
Homecoming.
he's in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know those glasses that Tony Stark gives him?
Yes.
I just
You
bought
got
me
a pair?
pair.
What?
No,
Do they work?
of course they're not going to be like
Oh,
shooting missiles, but they're
Yeah.
replicas.
you'll look cool.
I'm going to wear them suckers all day long.
You can tell somebody they're a CT scanner. Be
Yeah.
like, hold on, I'll just scan you here. And, oh, you're fine.
Was it you that was with me when we bought that water, Life Death Water?
Yes. Yeah, Death Water.
Death Water.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would automatically probably get fired.
Absolutely, because it looks just like you're drinking a beer, but you're not. You're not drinking a beer. It's water.
I was talking about
Definitely.
offering it to patient.
Oh yeah.
But like, everybody's like, you got anything to drink in
you
here?
give me some fluid.
And everybody's like, sorry, honey, all I got salt water.
yeah.
But
Here's some death.
I would
water.
love to be like, yeah, here it is. They'd be like, and they'd be like,
What if it brought them back? They were like, you can just pull over.
we could go old school and pour some down the ET tube. No.
After drowning.
Yeah. What are you doing? We run out of options.
What is your favorite meal that you've ever been prepared or eaten?
Oh, gosh. I have no clue. I'm fat. I like a lot of
I
stuff.
know. But you gotta have a favorite. You like steak?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what everybody goes through, but it's hard to beat a good steak and baked
Nice.
potato.
Steak and baked potato.
Yeah.
Salad.
I'm a pretty big seafood fan. So
Seafood
my
you eat?
wife, she ruined all that.
Did she?
Yeah, on Mother's Day.
Why?
She's complicated. I'm surprised if you can catch it or it can happen to you.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm surprised she hadn't caught COVID yet because, like, her immune system's that of a
Did your wife
vaccinated
like seafood?
Ethiopian child or something. Oh no, she loves seafood. Took her out for Mother's Day
Uh-huh.
to the redneck chalet of seafood, Red Lobster, and biscuits.
Right.
Maybe Red Lobster biscuits is the best thing in the world. But
Oh, yeah.
like we started eating, we're going at it. It's her first Mother's Day past my at my child's year old.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, we get there, we're chowing down, and she's like got this weird look, and I'm like, what? She's like, nothing. She's like, my stomach just don't feel good, and my throat's kind of scratchy.
Oh, no.
And I'm sorry. Of course, I'm in denial. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
More shrimp, and
Yeah. Endless
like
bottom.
she pretty much starts describing
And
an allergic reaction to the tea, and if I knew what those symptoms were, I would describe them, but I
Yeah.
don't. But at the time I was like, "You're getting ready to have an allergic reaction." And she's like, "No, I don't think so." I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "We're gonna have to get out of here, because no paramedic wants to call for an ambulance,
Ain't that the truth?
especially where they don't know the other medic." So
Yeah.
I was like, "We gotta get out of here," and we got out of there. I got her some Pepsi and some Benadryl. And she ended up like puking and crapping her guts out in Hickory.
Really?
And so she got tested, and yeah, she's got a shellfish allergy,
Oh, no.
which makes it super, super duper hard to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, especially Japanese in Wilkes County or Alexander. Oh yeah, we don't get shrimp in your food. We don't eat.
It's all cooked on the same
Yeah.
day.
Or like
Yep.
a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I have an allergy to shellfish, and they'd be like, oh, what?
Yeah.
You want shellfish? No,
Yeah.
no, just so. But I would say like crab legs, shrimp. That'd probably be
God. I didn't think
that'd probably be my favorite,
That's-
especially
yeah.
fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that a lot.
What's your favorite day of the week?
Saturdays or Sundays?
Well,
I don't know. I guess day off.
is it?
Well, stereotypically, it's day off. Today my wife's off. I don't know. Probably Sundays.
Sundays?
Yeah. Probably
Just
Sundays.
relax,
Yeah.
cut back, chill.
Yeah.
Now tomorrow you're going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes.
You know what I call Chuck E. Cheese? Hell on earth.
Yeah. So I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese's in my life
To this day.
to this day.
Are you kidding me?
I
How
was
blessed are
deprived.
you?
I know. You remember the DZ zone or something?
Oh,
like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
that? My sister lived in Louisiana, and we went down there to visit, and I got to go to that, and I was like,
Shopping.
I've never thought about that.
See?
I know. This is getting deep.
I know. You know it's going to be Walmart.
The most shop store, definitely Walmart. I should say, I'm going to say Dollar General.
You can do it.
Just I like Dollar General.
I like the sales that Dollar General has.
I don't know. The older I get, the less I like to go to any store. Amazon on my couch.
Amazon's a good shop. You know what I bought the other day? An
Support the big
ear
two.
cleaner outer.
What kind?
It's by Bird, I think.
I have the worst earwax in the world.
Well, listen, this thing is legit.
Is it a corkscrew?
Can you pull it up? So
You ever put peroxide in yours?
I have. So this right here I found on the time waster of all time wasters TikTok,
Oh yeah.
and this guy was like,
There's
yeah.
I work with a preacher. We won't name names.
uh-huh,
That's where he gets his Sunday sermons from.
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah. Not really, but that's what he watches a lot of TikTok. I tell you, I'm worried about his soul. But
Do you have TikTok?
I do. Yeah.
Yep.
He's the one that led
Time
me
waster.
astray.
Time waster,
Yeah.
man.
I can honestly say that I almost never look at it unless I'm at work.
You're disciplined then.
Yeah. So
Cause I almost
every
have
now
to-
and then I will, but most of the time it is definitely at work.
I almost have to watch TikTok late at night before I go to bed,
Really?
so I can just be like, just drown off.
Yeah.
So
Old Trump, he didn't get that. He didn't get it excommunicated.
he didn't. He actually fell through on it. He actually brought it to us. For all y'all Trump haters who hated Trump, remember, because of him, we got TikTok.
I've got 2 coworkers that we need to bring over here
Okay.
and interview all about the QAnon.
Oh, we'll do it.
Yeah, it would be.
So y'all talk about the queue over there?
Oh yeah, because so the Fall of the Cabal or whatever is
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Now, how did you hear about the Fall Ball?
These guys.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'd heard people talk about it, but they got us watching it. And so, like, there's a lot of it that I'd have, like, the first part of that YouTube show,
Mm-hmm.
I would have no problem believing. And then they get into, the John F. Kennedy Jr.'s alive and him and Trump's going to, and which would be awesome if it was all true. And whoever came up with that could write a heck of a book.
Well, everybody who follows that is like waiting for the next few days, and I'm like, nothing's happening.
They've been like that forever. So, like, I'll buy, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, at first I was like, it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Look up BBB BIRD. No, you go back. BBB. No, BBB. IRD. Just put ear cleaner.
But, like, even now, they're like, oh, it's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Trump's still going to be president. And one of them, I can't tell if he's just screwing with me. The other one, he flat out believes it.
I don't know.
I'm like, I've lost faith, guys.
I don't think anything's gonna happen.
I think it's just all a good
All
story.
right,
Or part of it.
all right, just click on Beerbird ear cleaner, Amazon. There's several prices for this thing, but this thing is legit, son. So I got the one right there, far
Does it
right.
squirt water?
Far right. Some do, some don't. This
It's
one
kind of
don't.
like you could probably buy one of those Sonic floss
Yeah.
water
It's
flush.
So
Water in.
it's a little handle there. Got all these attachments. You
That's
can hook it up to
expensive.
your phone. You can hook it up to your phone, and you can clean your ear out, and you never have to use Q-tips ever again.
YouTube's bad. I have terrible earwax. My
Uh-huh.
wife's all about cleaning it out. I think she
So
has
is
some
my
weird
son.
obsession.
And it comes with little Q-tip things. It actually comes with this weird thing. It's like a feather, and you're so I don't know. You put it in your ear, and it gives some sort of euphoric. What's this? It's the
The
weirdest.
wax
thing.
blaster.
The Wax Blaster 2000.
Somebody out there's like, I thought this was supposed
Have you ever got your ears cleaned up?
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
You didn't like it?
I do not like squirting water in them.
Yeah.
No, I do not.
Put the little earwax stuff in it and breaks it down.
I
and
guess
you
I guess the last person to clean mine out was Jessica Darnell in her
oh,
kitchen.
did she have her stuff?
Yeah, she has like some of it. I felt like I was drunk for days.
Did you?
Yeah.
They tickled your ear lobe or your
Yeah,
ear drum a little bit.
something. But yeah, I've got bad earwax. Like
Yeah.
horrible.
Well, you should try it if you ever have
Probably
that.
because I eat gluten.
Did you eat gluten when you were little?
Gluten?
Gluten.
Yeah, I said it's probably
You
because
know
I
what
ate
gluten is?
what?
What does Dave Grohl say?
No gluten, no gluten.
Yeah. No gluten, no gluten. All right. Next question. Who's your favorite? What's your favorite type of music?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. Britney Spears,
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake. No,
Bust those.
I don't know that I have a favorite kind. Like I listen to a little bit of everything.
You like country?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite country singer? Morgan Wallen.
No,
That's everybody's favorite right now.
I'm a pretty big Alabama fan.
Oh, old school.
Yeah, like I like some of the new stuff. I don't know. I classify it as all country.
Mhm.
I like some of the
Agree.
new stuff, but as far as country, I definitely the older stuff.
Favorite rock and roll band?
Mm, like like you talking like 80s rock and roll or just like
Wherever.
rock or was Linkin Park?
Absolutely.
I'm a huge Linkin Park fan.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm a Foo Fighters all
Alright.
day long, twice on Sunday.
like I listen to a little bit of everything, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
Not new rap.
No.
New rap is horrible.
Old rap.
So,
Hey, who
yeah.
was that guy? So I can have
Tom. Oh my gosh. Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald.
Yes.
This Tom McDonald guy. Pull up Tom McDonald.
The
Tom
thing about
McDonald.
him is it is very non-mainstream,
Yeah,
and he also produces all his stuff.
yeah. And this guy is good. I don't know what that last song you showed me, where it's kind of like he's talking to himself.
Yes. I'm the best rapper.
Is legit one of that's a really good one.
He yeah. Like if you like the first like if I just to flash a picture up of him, you'd be like, oh, what's this freak?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
But to hear him,
but he's got some legit stuff.
awesome. You not do it?
Um, I like him.
That's something else you brought to my attention. Tom McDonald.
I stumbled upon him
You did good.
on the Facebook.
There he is right there.
Yeah,
So if you look at him,
yeah. You would.
you'd be like, I don't know. But that's not him. Right there.
Singer. Damn.
Singer down. Go down. Tom McDonald rapper.
Yeah, he looks like a cross between like I don't know something out of like Korn and Marilyn Manson and something else. Sort of.
He looks like a guy that they were like, we need to fill in for this movie we're making, and we need to make him the most stereotypical white rapper possible.
Yeah, he's he's a unique dude.
There he is. Look at him.
He you hate to classify everything as left or right,
Yeah.
but it's pretty much the world that
Yeah.
us Americans live
Mhm.
in. He's pretty middle of the road.
Yeah. And he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
That last video he done outsold Eminem on something, and a lot of people try to compare the two, but they're absolutely nothing
Nothing like bipolar.
or at least they don't seem to be.
This guy reminds me of like a Linkin Park type rapper.
Yeah.
That's good. Check him out. Blow him up. If you like rap, this is about the only rap I'd like. I like Eminem. I like MGK.
I like some of the old school stuff, and I probably can't even
Run
name it
DMC.
all. Yeah, stuff like that.
Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys is where it was at when I was young.
Yeah. I even listen to some like Christian, a little bit of everything. Southern gospel. I don't listen to much Southern gospel.
Bluegrass gospel.
I like bluegrass. I mean, I like a little bit of everything.
Can you play an instrument?
No.
I thought you was getting ready to say something very
Yeah.
funny.
If anybody tells you otherwise, they're liars.
Oh my god, that's funny. You looked
I
at
was
me.
debating. No.
You was getting ready to throw out the whistle, wasn't
Yeah.
you?
I did play a trumpet.
Do you?
I did
In high school?
in middle school, I guess.
So you was in band.
I was 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Played the trumpet. I still got it, mainly because I couldn't sell it.
You
Like,
can't. You can probably sell it now, dude.
Probably. Like, you take it to the pawn shop, and be like, how much for this thing? I need some crack, and they're like, they're like $5.
I'll take it.
Back to my mom, sweet lady. That thing was expensive. I don't remember how much. I remember she paid payments on it.
I remember them coming to my school in elementary school and being like, "You're gonna come play the band, and you got to get an instrument, and it's gonna be $500." Boom, that shut off for me. My mom was like,
We had a pretty legit band teacher. He done in high school.
"Did you go to Wilkes Central?"
No, I started, so the middle schools in Wilkes did not get built to my 8th grade year.
Oh,
Yeah. So elementary school we just had elementary, which was K through 8. So up to my 8th grade year, I was at K through 8, and then you went to high school. But
they had to have been there before though.
no, they were not.
I played Wilkes Central.
I mean, Wilkes Central was, but I'm saying
That's right.
middle school wise,
You're
there was
right.
no middle schools.
You're right.
So when they built the middle schools, they automatically become West Middle, East Middle, North Middle, and Central Middle.
So what high school did you go to?
What, hospital?
What high school?
West.
West Middle.
West High.
West High.
Yep.
Where's that? How far up the mountain is that?
So if you take 16 north,
Mhm.
you get to Miller's Creek, the intersection there with the Bojangles on the left.
Mm-hmm.
You turn left there, and it's like 2 miles up Moon Trail on the right. God's country.
Yeah.
It's changed like everything else.
Was y'all's your what is it? Your arch nemesis.
It's
arch
always
enemy
been Central.
was always Wilkes Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still is, as far as I know, I guess.
What were they? Wilkes Central. What were they? What was their logo?
I guess I should know that too, but I don't even remember.
Wilkes Central losers. Oh.
Yeah, we were the Hawks, and they were the North Vikings, East Cardinals. I don't remember. It was so unimportant, I don't even remember it. But yeah, they've always.
Well, let's see if we can get on Facebook Live or we'll keep rolling. Oh.
This will be my first Facebook Live video ever.
I'm gonna tell you, I was new at it too. And I was like, it ain't that bad. I can find it. Start live video. And we're live here
Oh, God.
with.
I gotta tell some people here.
Go ahead. You'll have to see if we get any questions or comments. We're live with the legendary Steven
Good evening.
South
How is everyone?
on the Facebook Live while we're finishing up our video. So, before anybody starts popping up or anybody starts asking questions, I just want to tell you.
I'm sure they hear my name on Facebook. There'll be hordes of people.
Steven South is going live on Facebook.
Somebody wanted to interview him.
Hey, but before they do and they start asking questions, I just want to thank you so much for coming.
Dude, it's my pleasure.
Um,
I've been excited. You first told me about this, and
Dude.
he's like, "You want to talk to me?"
yeah, I
Me?
wanted to talk to
I mean,
you.
me. You want to talk to me?
You've always been one of those guys who always comes with a great story and a great
I can't
just
watch this and talk.
background
It's
and your
gonna.
information and I knew it was gonna be fun from the very beginning, and it always is, always has. For those who are watching, we'll have it up on YouTube in the next coming days, so you can go watch the whole interview with Steven South live on YouTube. But right now we're going live on Facebook Live for any questions, comments, concerns, ridicule,
Maybe people will make me look good.
criticism. How much Steven South has meant to you
I
in
look
your
fat.
life.
Look at him.
If his wife's on there,
I bet she's not. She won't have anything good to say.
how do you know that? She may have
She
all kinds.
might.
She might. If it's not for Steven, I wouldn't be able to make it in this world.
Yeah,
I love him so much.
but I think it's a pretty cool thing you're doing.
Well,
I think it's
tell you
good.
the again, I want people to meet the people I have the pleasure of coming in contact with throughout this emergency service, because there are some amazing people. I love every one of them. They mean so much to me, as you do.
Thank you. It warms my heart.
I always have the best times with you when you get on the truck.
You gotta
very-
have fun.
Yeah, and you do.
People want to be serious all the time. It's a drag.
Yeah, it
Uh,
makes it just drags out. the whole
I'll never be a director. Plus, I say too much when I should.
So we've talked about your part-time jobs, and you just had one recently with the convalescent driving.
Yes.
You have you work other EMS services across the county, and let me just say this too. You know, it is a difficult job sometimes.
Sometimes.
It can wear on you and your family. And for somebody who's in emergency services, who really cares a lot about the men and women who sacrifice their time, I do.
Travis Hodges is such a manly man.
I know. He loves me.
Travis Hodge,
Yeah.
you are a manly man. Look
yeah,
at that beard.
I know.
I agree with you, Travis.
I know. Thank you. He's the guy that took the poor homeless kid in to let him deer hunt on his land.
Oh,
Yeah.
we talked about that in the podcast, and I do
Yeah.
thank you so much for allowing him to hunt your land. Poor meager, needed to feed his family.
Yeah. So I was confused because I said I was new to Facebook
Mm-hmm.
Live. I wasn't sure if this whole thing was going to be Facebook Live or not, so I messaged a bunch of people and told them they were going to have to watch it.
Yeah.
So
That's
they
cool.
got to go and watch it where?
On
Yeah,
YouTube.
Nate Johnson talking about the beard.
Oh gosh.
Nate Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
Nate Johnson's on there?
Mm-hmm.
Nate Johnson, I miss seeing you, bud.
He's a loser. He's one of the QAnon. Tell him how Trump's gonna save the world, Nate.
He's only got a few more days, Nate.
Yeah, not long. He's one of those, but I probably shouldn't say that out loud because the deep state will be after him.
They've
or
already tagged
whoever.
this.
Yeah,
They've already tagged this podcast.
I'm sorry, Nate.
They wrote Nate's name
Get
down.
in your Prius and go.
Oh, Nate, when you coming back? Anytime soon?
I feel like we're waiting. This meditate. It's like, who are you talking to?
Nate
What?
Johnson says, I'm coming, trust the plan, shut listening.
So, yeah.
So
He don't have the Prius anymore.
Oh, sorry.
Nate was the first person who came right after y'all had to cut your beards.
Drew Carey.
And he was like, yeah. And he was like, and every one of us was like, what has happened to Sal? And he's like, oh, it's
Yeah, it is bad. It was.
Nate Johnson says no. I work Mitchell PT now.
He's not Alexander anymore?
I guess not.
Yeah, I didn't know if he. Yeah, he works in Mitchell County for AMR or something.
Yeah. Well, I miss you, bud. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. If you ever want to be on the podcast and talk about Q, let me know.
I think it should.
It'll be fun.
I have to come watch.
I'll bring you both on.
I'll be like the guy that's like trying to prove him wrong.
That'll be awesome.
It would.
Nate, you be interested in doing that? Let me know.
You keep looking over there, and I'm like, I feel like we're having to use the force. I'm waiting for Nate to communicate with me.
Nate, talk to me.
Nate Johnson said he looked like a hairless cat without the beard.
I look like an adolescent naked mole rat, or obese naked mole rat. It was horrible.
Didn't you take a picture of your half off, half on?
Something like I like shaved it.
Nate said good luck and absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that was a hard that made a lot of people mad. I mean, we had to do what we had to do, but
Yeah.
like some people didn't get it. Like some dudes just like their beards.
So I'm gonna schedule Nate and you
We'll do it.
on the podcast.
Nate's hilarious too, so
He is fun.
it'll be fun.
Travis Hodge says he looked like he drove a van that said free candy.
He needs to mind his own business.
So these guys you've worked with before. Do you do a lot of training? Do you teach?
I used to, but I don't anymore.
Yeah. So on your
uh,
shift, you have a shift trainer
Yes,
who trains.
that'd be Scotty Darnell.
Scotty!
Yeah, that's like the 12th time I've said his name.
He must be famous.
I guess he is. No, yeah. So I used to be a sergeant, which does all the on shift
Mm-hmm.
training, but no, not anymore. Thank
Yeah.
God. I don't miss it. I won't lie. It sucks getting all the new people.
Yeah. And you'll get them.
Yep.
But everybody wants to be like you.
Well, they just, I don't know. I doubt that. That's not a very high goal. Not a very high goal in life.
I was thinking I lost train of thought because I was thinking about Scotty Darnell. Was you and Scotty Darnell friends before?
No, I had no clue who he was.
And
Our romantic love story started one night in a minivan, upside down in the rain. Legit, like that's the first time we ever met.
This is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and he was starting his clinicals, and I was like, "Who are you?" And you got like, I hadn't been doing it a year yet, so I was macho, badass. I'm like, "Who are you, new guy?"
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm all salty. I've done this for 9 months, so
Get out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm a paragod.
but anyway, so that's how. Yeah, like he came very shortly after that. I vaguely remember him that night. Like we didn't shake hands, but then he came very shortly after that.
Yeah.
My shift.
Now, did he live in?
He lives on the edge towards Elkin.
So, I've lived here for about a long time, over 30 years. The only thing I knew about Wilkes County was
They make
Rock,
moonshine.
Rock Creek.
Oh my gosh, Rock Creek.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, that's a wonderful community.
The golf course, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how we'd always go up there and play golf.
we've got I guess 3 golf courses. That one, which is probably the least nice. I mean, it's not bad,
That's fun.
but no, we got 4.
Uh,
There's one off of I can't remember what road now. It's like a cow pasture, like legit. Just
Where?
about. Travis knows. Travis, where's the golf course? Off Spicer Road, I think, or
Okay.
something like that. It's literally like a cow pasture
Yeah.
turn golf course. And then there's the one you're talking about off Rock Creek.
mhm.
And then there's Green Street. It's nice.
I have played Green Street before.
And then Country Club.
Tell me something. You may not know nothing about it, but there's a farm.
Right outside just says Green Street.
It's not the one that we went and played at when I wore my beautiful outfit with Joe and them. Anyway, continue on.
There's a farm up there that raises elk.
That's right off of.
16.
Mm-hmm.
Is that legit?
It is.
Can you buy meat from them? Do you know?
I do not know. I don't think so. I don't know what they do with them. I just know they raise them.
They have to sell them for farms.
So what? Somebody just asked what YouTube channel this is going to be on when it gets uploaded.
Lights and Sirens. YouTube. I'll send a link out, and I'll send a link out to everybody. That way you can watch the whole podcast. Dude,
That was my golf outfit.
you look so good.
I know. That's when I lost a bunch of weight. I was skinny then.
Is your wife watching?
I don't know. Wife, are you watching? Says, why are you on your phone? Because I was showing Shannon a picture. My wife's fussing at me even when I'm not there.
I think that's what wives do.
Yeah. But anyway,
So I'm curious about that elk place.
I don't know. All I know is they farm them. I don't know what they do with them.
They got the big old bull out there. I ain't seen him in a while though.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in quite some time.
Probably somebody hadn't spotlighted them.
Wouldn't be
It
able to
is Wilkes
surprise me
County.
none bit. None bit. Any other questions for Mr. Steven South? You can say anything. How's the sound?
So Lights and Sirens is the YouTube channel.
Mhm.
So how have you enjoyed doing the podcast?
I enjoy it. I really do. Like I said, my biggest thing is to get you guys out because I think the world just needs to recognize EMS workers besides the fact of what they think of being, or not just EMS workers, cops, firemen, all these emergency service workers above and beyond what.
Are you gonna get some firemen on here?
I hope so.
Cop.
I hope so. I'd really like to get a state trooper on here.
I had my 3-year-old daughter yelling pig this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah. So one of my best friends that you met,
The one,
Mr.
yeah.
White,
Mm-hmm.
he's a newly minted highway pirate
He
for the
is?
state of North Carolina. And I gave him grief, and we ate breakfast with him this morning.
Did
He's
you?
leaving, and I'm like, "You pig!" And my 3-year-old's like, "Pig!" So I'm a bad influence.
That's all right. And I just want to get beyond the stereotype or the characteristic of, hey, this person does this. They have a mentality that's different from everybody else because they see bad things or they. No, I think some of the best people in the world are emergency service workers, by far.
Absolutely. I know a few.
Just daggum great storytellers, people who have just fun to hang around with, laugh, cut up, and that's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah, it's like we said earlier. That's definitely the best part of the job.
It is.
It's people.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine doing anything different because of the people. Because I've worked furniture. Oh God, I've tried to sell insurance. That was a disaster.
You and having a good shift, and obviously,
Yeah.
I have never been on a shift that the whole shift was bad.
Yeah.
I've always been fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
The shift the guys that I got to work with and for me now on my shift, they're all great. It's a good shift.
Yeah.
And we're all tight.
Yeah.
And that makes life 100 times easier than if you're miserable.
Yeah.
Or nobody's fun.
Absolutely. Without a question. And I thank you so much for being here.
Well, I'm glad.
And
We'll get Nate here.
we'll get you back in here as many times as you want to come back
Well,
and
it'll be my pleasure.
get you situated.
If Trump is still president on the 20th, we'll get Nate in here and I'll like kiss his big toe or something.
You hear that? You hear that?
Big toe.
All right. Well, we're going to go. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Lost and Sirens.